Welcome back to Wake Up Abundant with Amber. Today we're going to talk about lineage and how it impacts your level of abundance. I just want to say this one thing before I could start going into this. Everyone has the ability to step into abundance. Every single person in this world has the ability to step into abundance and to completely alter their lives. That is facts. Do some people start up here and some people start down here on their abundance journey, where the abundance that they're seeking is up here? So it's like a smaller window to get to? Absolutely. That is a very real thing. If you have years of oppression in your lineage, it is so much deeper than someone who doesn't have years of oppression in their lineage to believe that you can have abundance, to believe that it could be different for you, to believe that suffering is no longer part of your story and part of our future generation's story. That is a very real thing. I just want to say that disclaimer, but that doesn't mean it's not possible for you. So today with Wake Up Abundant, we're going to talk about our ancestors and we're going to talk about how we can use them and how we can use our lineage as power versus as an anchor to staying where we are. It feels really good to be angry. It feels really good to be righteous. And I know that feeling. It is upsetting. It is enraging that certain things happened in our lives and certain things happen to our family members and certain things happen to generations that we have no control over. And being enraged is important. But it doesn't need to be your story. You can change the story of your ancestors. You can change the story of your lineage. You can change the story of your generation by choosing different thoughts, by choosing different ways of being. And this is not easy. It is not easy, but it is powerful. Your ancestors do not want you to suffer. Your ancestors do not want you to repeat the same things that they have. They want you to tap into abundance. Just think about it. Think if you were in their shoes, if you had a lineage of pain and suffering, do you want the future generation to step into that? No. You want them to have more ease and more flow, and you want them to be happier. You want them to experience abundance in every single level of their lives. And when more people who have oppressive lineages and trauma in their generation and trauma in their family tree lean into abundance, the world becomes better. Period. When you learn to decode abundance in your life and in your vibration, in your frequency, the world becomes better. The world becomes kinder, it becomes softer, and you create opportunities for people that look like you, that have the same story as you do, or a variation, who have the family trauma that you have, and they look at you and they say, they can do it, I can do it. And what ends up happening is that you start creating this ripple effect that will completely alter the reality that we live in. And that's why I fully believe that abundance is your birthright, and abundance is the mission that you need to seek on the daily, and you do not need to bend the knee or crumble in this system that is supposed to make you feel oppressed. We get to rise above it by believing different thoughts and by stepping into a new timeline that is abundant. And I know this feels so different than a lot of my conversations that I have on here, but it is important. I also think just mom to daughter, if your mom, you saw her struggle, like you are going to want to struggle because that's all you knew. So you have to change it for your future daughter or for your future kids. And same thing if you grew up with a dad, or maybe you didn't grow up with a family at all, like you get to change it. Your story is a part of you, and it is a beautiful part of you, and it makes you who you are, but you do not need to use it as this anchor of why you cannot move forward. You get and choose to move forward. You get to inspire others because you move forward, even regardless of your circumstances, your lineage, your ancestry. You chose a different path. And that's pretty damn beautiful. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be hard for you because of the years of oppression and different things that you have gone through in your life and your family has gone through in your life. It will be. But I also think it gets easier the more you do it. And when you teach your children from this perspective of abundance, from this perspective, your impossible dreams can become inevitable, things get to change. And what a world will we live in if every single person got to experience that energy? That if you are a good person and if you do good in this world and if your desires are not there to harm others but uplift others, anything is possible for you. That's a vibe. That's the world I want to live in. That's the world we're creating right now. So I want you to know that that is truth. So today I want you to think about your lineage. I want you to think about all the pain. I want you to really journal about your childhood too and get clear on all the pain that you went through. And from that point, from that pain, talk about a new future, a brighter future, something that really uplifts you. What does abundance look like for you and for the future generations in your lineage? And please know the Mastermind application is still open and we are going deep into lineage work. The first step is deep understanding of self, deep understanding of why we are the way we are, why we think certain things, how our lineage, how our ancestry impacts us. And we really navigate that carefully and we learn how to change the stories powerfully. You're being guided, you're in a safe space. If you are interested, make sure you apply or you send me a message on Instagram at Hello Amber Alexis. You can just DM me and say Mastermind, and I know what you're going to be talking about. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys in the next episode.